An appeals court on the West Coast just ruled the U.S. can deport illegal immigrants even if local governments oppose those removals.
Chicago residents' outrage over the city's sanctuary policies erupted at a city council meeting yesterday. They gave Mayor Brandon Johnson and Chicago Democrats an earful for prioritizing illegal immigrants over struggling Americans.
9th Street between St. Louis and Central Park for a call of a person shot. Once police arrived, they found 8 people shot all inside that home. They say it was 4 men and 4 women, all of them between the ages of 20 and 35.
Hey yo, what it do, crew? It's your boy Elijah X coming to you fresh and trashy. You know what it do. So yeah, you seen at the beginning of the video, we got a lot of ordeals going on with, once again, the illegal immigration. It's a thoroughly ongoing thing, and it's one of the things Trump ran on, and we as maggots coming out of this pretty ass trash can, we want this mass deportation to happen. And thankfully, you know, we got some people that are on our side in high places. And wouldn't you know it, it actually came from the West Coast. Peep game.
Does this mean Trump can get around sanctuary city rules?
Well, I think this is obviously a win for the incoming Trump administration. And I think what this validates is the ability for ICE to do their job, to remove individuals, bad individuals from the country, regardless of what local jurisdictions may or may not do to help them do that. It's federal immigration law, and they have the ability to execute on that law, so it's a good ruling for them.
How long before the concept of the migrant sanctuary is just out of bounds? I think the whole sanctuary idea is just losing steam. I think it's nearing its end. What say you?
Well, I think you're right, Stuart. I think what you see in places like New York, right? You got Mayor Adams saying, look, he wants to sit down with Tom Homan and talk about how they can work together to remove dangerous individuals from their city streets. And I think once you've got blue city mayors that start to understand what is going on here and how those illegal aliens that continue to commit those crimes and put their community at danger, and how ICE can help them, I think they'll start to come around. But I agree with you. I think the public sentiment on sanctuary city jurisdictions has turned over these last 6 to 8 months.
I really think public sentiment changes when it looks like sanctuary city mayors or sanctuary city state governors are protecting criminals. I mean, I don't see how you can get away with that politically. You know, you've got a rapist in prison, you won't let ICE go get him. I don't see that lasting.
Well, I think that's right. But, you know, what a lot of these blue city mayors are good at doing is they conflate the facts, right? They'll say, well, I want to protect residents in my community. But what they're not saying is I won't turn over criminals to ICE. So I think the more and more that we talk about this, to say all ICE is asking them to do is to let them pick up this dangerous alien criminal while they're in a local jail, so that they don't have to go into city streets, into those communities and put others at risk. Right. When you have an enforcement team that goes out there, let ICE do that within the confines of a jail, which is safe and secure, not only for the officer, but for that alien as well. And that's all we're talking about. And but what you see a lot of these mayors do is they conflate that to say, well, I don't want them to pick up, you know, that 87-year-old grandmother. That's not what we're talking about here. It's not what the president's talking about. It's not what Tom Homan's talking about.
Tom Homan says you go after the villains first and take care of the rest later, but they're first. Right. Chad, thanks for joining us.
So as you can see, the appeals court's ruling in our favor. Now it's 100% off the board that getting in the way of Tom Homan and Trump's deportation team is a legal thing to be doing. There's no way to justify allowing these illegals to stay here other than your un-American and thoroughly unpatriotic ways. It's certainly not constitutional, and you blocking us is going to do nothing but result in catastrophe on your end. Now, as they said, these higher officials and governors and mayors are causing these crazy backlashes and dissonances within communities because they're saying we're going to use your tax dollars to pay for these illegals and protect them. And you as an American, whatever you get on the back end, which ain't shit. We're going to give it all away to people who don't deserve to be here, and you'll figure it out. But check what's going down now in Chicago, because the residents certainly aren't fucking having it anymore, and this is exactly what we need to be happening in every state possible. Check it out.
And rooted for, listen to this, President-elect Trump.
So, Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second, stop her time.
Our mayor is embarrassing us, y'all, around the world. And you all took the power back from him to say the city of Chicago is out of the business of funding illegals. We are out of the business of prioritizing non-American citizens on top of the American citizens who go out in this cold weather every day to make money to pay their taxes.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
Here you are with another gritty property tax hike, trying to push the have-nots to house your precious illegal immigrants. You told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pours that Trump card out on you? I will make it my duty to try to get my gun to perform an Operation Grey Lord 2.0 in Chicago and lock all of you crooked Democrats and judges up. And it's just like that.
This is the election in a nutshell. I mean, if you could sum it up, you have progressive radicals who say, let's fund illegal immigrants over American citizens like Brandon Johnson. And then you have Trump increasing his numbers double digits among all kinds of demographics. People in MAGA hats saying, we're rejecting this, Brian.
Governor Pritzker, too, said, you come from my people, you got to go through me first. Mayor Brandon, whatever his name is, Johnson comes out. How do I forget the name Johnson?
That's okay.
It's pretty low. But he comes out and says, we have repaired the relationships with our police force. The last thing we're going to do is reopen those scabs and allow that. What are you talking about? When ICE shows up with a detainer and says he wants that prisoner, you should say, please take the gangster off my hands and his neck tattoo and put him back in Venezuela. This is, I didn't see any of that. I am so encouraged to hear that, because what is in the best interest of the people instead of your backwards party? The people are saying, you're taking my services, you're overriding my classrooms, you're taking my money, you're ruining my airports, you're taking over my subways, you're taking over my streets. Please tell me, stop helping me. You're not doing anything for me. And this is the minority community who, with President increased in all those areas. I just hope he uses this time to go back to President Trump, who, with his staff that he's building up, to go back to Chicago, back to New York, back to Philadelphia. Says, now that I got some of your votes, I want to find out how else I can help. I saw you on Outnumbered. I want to help you out. How do I do that? How do you convince your politicians to give me the power to let Tom Homan do his job?
Yeah, well, he's doubling down. Harris, listen to Mayor Brandon Johnson on his words for the Trump administration.
Our values will remain strong and firm. We will face likely hurdles in our work over the next 4 years, but we will not be stopped. And we certainly will not go back.
We will not go back.
You said our values will remain strong. They're anti-American values. Like, this is what the people voted for, including people in his own city and state.
Yeah, I had to cut it off there, bro. That guy's a straight up fucking fool. Looking like a regular sized Kevin Smith and shit. Fucking goons, man. These guys playing too many damn games, bro. People out here losing their lives. And speaking of illegals and speaking of people losing their lives, this is also in Chicago, and you know, something's kind of fishy about it. Usually if it's black folks, they don't have any problem like showing their pictures and doing the whole rundown on their backgrounds and saying, well, we blah blah blah. But I'm gonna show you this last story before we get out of here, and just tell me if to you this doesn't sound like a group of illegal immigrants or Venezuelans or whatever have you in this damn house, like just going buck wild and just being foul. But I'll leave that to you, and we'll leave off with this one. All right, you know what? Things are just getting wild, even more wild than they are, but everything's coming to a head. We just got to get our man through the line. Check this out.
Joe and Erica, good evening to you both. Nearly 4 hours later, Chicago police still have multiple streets blocked off. They're still working to speak with witnesses, and they're still going in and out of businesses in this area in hopes of getting any video to figure out how this all happened and trying to figure out where the possible suspect, if they are looking for one, possibly went. If you take a look behind me right now down 59th Street, past the Christmas lights, you can see the police lights. All of those are blending in together now as police continue to go in and out of that home where 8 people were shot. Take a look at this video that we've gathered from the scene in the last 3 hours. Chicago police say they were called to a home at 59th Street between St. Louis and Central Park for a call of a person shot. Once police arrived, they found 8 people shot all inside that home. They say it was 4 men and 4 women, all of them between the ages of 20 and 35. Police say 3 of those men are now dead, and we know that of the 5 who were injured, 2 were taken to Christ Hospital, 1 was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, and another one was taken to Mount Sinai, and 2 self-transported to a hospital. It's unclear what hospital they went to. We had a chance to speak to a neighbor and police about what unfolded here in Chicagoland this evening. Take a listen.
We have 8 victims that we're going to solve this crime and find the individuals that are responsible for this heinous, terrible incident. It appeared to be a social gathering taking place at that location. There have been calls of service at this residence before.
From that home, it seems like they party a lot. Yeah, they like to have a good time.
How long have they possibly been living there? When did you first start seeing or hearing the partying?
Maybe within the last 6-7 months.
Now, police would not say if the shooter was among the victims right now. It's still unclear if all 8 people shot lived inside that home or if they were possibly there for that social gathering that police talked about and mentioned. Again, police tell us that they have responded to this home in the past. And again, we've seen them speaking to several witnesses in the area. One of those witnesses I saw getting into the back of a police vehicle with blood running down her leg. Again, police are asking people for any information to possibly...
Just whatever. I mean, it sounds like a hood, like a regular hood ordeal in some respect, but then you see that witness pop up, bro, and he says in the past 6 to 7 months, I'm like, man, homie definitely look like, I don't want to sound like a bigot or nothing, but I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't a house full of black people if my boy was over there. Man, come on, dude. This is ridiculous. Everybody playing too damn much. And they're talking about 2 victims self-transported to hospitals in the area, and they don't even know where they went to go get fucking medical treatment. They left the scene of a fucking crime, and they allowed them to go to a goddamn hospital without any kind of... Man, shut the fuck up. This shit's crazy. Man, I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next video. Be blessed and stay so.